Welcome back to another edition of the GridIron Throne podcast. This week, just me, your host, Jeff, just doing a solo picks of the week, little recap from week one. Kind of a crazy week last week with for fantasy. A lot of zeros, some injuries, a lot of people didn't play, but let's just get right into it. Share my screen with y'all, and we will touch on that. All right, so here was the results of last week. Dave will just touch on ours real quick. Really close week. A couple of underperformers on both sides. I mean, you had a good week overall. You didn't really have anyone that, I mean, you put up 1-0, but yeah, not as bad as having a goose egg here from Rashawn Gary, and then from Isaiah Likely. Not having Andrews did hurt a little bit, and Saquon getting just absolutely dominated by Dallas's defense didn't help, obviously, but McCaffrey and Ridley carried me. Allen did enough, just enough. Lost to the Jets. Speaking of losses with Aaron Rodgers for the year, we'll just endure. But that being said, Eckler, carried it. But oh my God, I mean, Joe Burrow, do something with just do anything. 82 yards was embarrassing from someone that just got 5 for 275, I believe, or 285, whatever it ended up being. But yeah, got to be better. When you play closer matchups, that could have been a loss if, with all these mistakes. We got to clean it up on the offensive side. That being said, Dave, good week. Good luck going forward. I'll see you probably near the end of the season. Let's touch on Gibby and Pat. Look at Pat getting a win in the first week, and basically it had to do with the Bears and Packers players. Shocker. Anyway, Deontay Johnson hurt, so that hurts you going forward. Hopkins is hurt going forward. We'll check the roster for whoever you play this week and see what you're starting. Obviously it's Friday, so I missed the Thursday night game, but we could do a little recap on that as well. Gibby had a huge day from Mac Jones with the 41. I mean, is this the turning point from Mac Jones with Bill O'Brien? Let's hope so for you. Stevenson did okay. Josh Jacobs, I think that was just a great game script. Didn't really get much going. I mean, did have 20 carries, so that's tough. Not great for the brand. Christian Kirk busted. Godwin, once again, I think that was a game script. I mean, 5 for 51 isn't terrible. I mean, in most weeks he'll throw in a touchdown, but we'll see what Baker does. McLaren, didn't really get much going either. And then Russ did okay. Komet didn't do anything for Pat. DJ Moore and Justin Fields, mediocre. A lot of people were comparing, like, at least the Dynasty community was comparing them to be the next, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Chase, Burrow, et cetera, et cetera. That's just not what's going to happen with these two. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I've been saying it all year. That being said, defense, Roquan put up 30, definitely worth the first. Derek Stingley, 3 points, nothing great other than that. And then Gibby, your defense just needs to step up. You can't have 65 points and expect to win on that one, but overall, solid week. Moving on to Jeremy versus the Sheriff, aka Rich, my co-host, who's not here right now. Pretty much we can just expect Rich to lose quite a few matchups. I mean, Lamar putting up 15 was your dagger. Everyone else kind of underwhelmed. Odell, but like a lot of these guys, you're going to expect that from. Bijan's going to look good. AJ Brown looks good. One of those type of situations. Now the running back room on the other side of the house needs to be better. I mean, he still put up 253 points, but if we scroll down, it's because 36 from TJ Watt. Patrick Queen put up 24. So these are just, what you need to do to win. And once again, it's on defense, 131 off of that. Not much else to say other than the fact that, Najee and Damian Pierce got to be better if you want to win. Amari Cooper just doing as inconsistent. I'm sure he'll go off for 2 touchdowns and 8 for 112 next week. So we'll see what happens. Devontae Smith looked good. Yeah. On to John versus Brandon, aka Snailman, aka you Osagi Sorrows this week. Um, Incredibles is the best name for it because that's how big of a week it was. 58 from Tyreek Hill. Dobbins went down, but you still have some options behind him. Travis Etienne had great week. Lawrence, good week. Metcalf. Overall, just a solid week on offense. You got the QB to build upon. You had your wide receiver. And then you go down and your defense just absolutely lit it up. 34-23. 151 off of defense, but 220 or 222 off of offense. You're going to win every week with that. That being said, across the board on the other side, good to see Breece Hall came off that ACL early. Did it, but your wide receiver room needs help. It needs to be better. QB, I mean, Bryce Young is a rookie. So got to build it somewhere. And Jared Goff with 22. Defense, once again, needs to be better. 66 isn't going to win. Last but not least, a close matchup. And it was really ultimately only close because of something that I could highlight right here because it's 3 in a row. Something I've never seen actually in a fantasy matchup is 3 zeros in a row. Higgins, London, and Goddard. Goddard played last night and put up 14, so that's a start. I mean, it was bound to happen, but 0, no receptions, nothing from any of these guys. That's to almost still pull it out with that type of week. It's impressive. You're still going to be a tough team to beat. 1 week does not mean anything, honestly, like this. Daniel Jones will be better too. Defense, no one really stood out on your defense either. On either side, not very good. And then, Justin Jefferson and Herbert are going to carry the Sun God. Also going to carry you each and every week. And we'll see where that goes. I mean, Henry will be good too, but we'll see. Moving on to week 2 predictions. All right. So obviously we already started. Philly faced off against Minnesota last week. We'll start off with I like to call it the game of the week because this is always a fun week, but I'm glad I'm getting this one out early. So if I am undefeated somehow, I'm not going to have to lose to him, but me versus a Sheriff. AJ Brown, underwhelming. TJ Hawkinson, for some reason, whenever I face him, it's against his biggest week. Across all my leagues, 7, 8 leagues, whatever, every single time he goes off. Madison, not a great week. Not a great week at all. Those 12 points you got from 2 players, and one of them being AJ Brown's going to hurt you. That being said, it's far from over because you have Mahomes and you have Lamar. Both are going to have huge weeks. On the other side, once again, fighting the injury bug. Lost Eckler more than likely for this week. Andrews should be back, which will help. But we just keep trucking along. Nothing's stopping this train this year. Burrow will be better. Chase will be better. Still got Saquon. Still got McCaffrey. Gonna ride it out, and we're going to do our best to smash you this week. So I'm obviously gonna pick myself to win. Moving on to Dave versus Brandon. 7 points. Who'd you get your 7 points from? Darius Slay. It's a good pick because ultimately you knew he was gonna be on AJ Brown. It's a good start from a D-back. So, it's not bad. Not bad. Dave, I'm going to pick you to win just strictly on the fact that I don't know what to think about Brandon's team at the moment. Strong at running back, but Breece is still on a snap count. His wide receivers are a little bit weak. I mean, they're solid, but they're just not consistent. And then tight end is once again inconsistent. Ingram's going to have that bounce back week where he goes off for 2 touchdowns, just like I said about I forgot who it was earlier, but regardless, I think it's gonna be close, but I don't think it's gonna be that close where we're gonna be thinking about it. The worst Dave's gonna struggle each and every week is probably at the quarterback position, and maybe at running back with the inconsistency with the young running backs. Darren Waller's banged up, but he's gonna play through it. But Kenny Pickett is gonna be your Achilles heel, I think, on not this week, but going forward. I'm hoping I'm wrong for you, but that'll be where it goes. But you're still going to get the win this week, Dave. All right, another big week already to start from the Incredibles. 33 from Daniel Hunter. Guy dropped. I think most of your defense I've had at one point. Burns, I know I had for sure, dropped him. That being said, it's a big hole to start when your offense hasn't even gone yet. A lot of Sunday night games, afternoons, so it's gonna be spread out. Kelsey is gonna be back, so I'm picking you to win. Um, I don't really have much faith in Pat this week either. I mean, Aaron Jones, hamstring injury. What capacity can he play? Hopkins, high ankle sprain. Don't know what he's going to look like. Zay Flowers looks good. Party should be good. Party, whatever we want to call him. And then David Montgomery should be solid. Between the tackles, he's going to get it until the end of the year. But yeah, easy win for John again. Sorry, Pat. And what a bounce back already for Walter over here. It's a battle of the brothers this week. Walter versus Gibby. Um, it's tough, and it's a tough hole to build yourself out of when Kirk Cousins starts for 4 touchdowns on a primetime game. Don't really expect it much, but he's underrated for fantasy football, and that's where you're gonna win your leagues too. Is players like that and building around young team. Young wide receivers. Ayuk looks good. Higgins will bounce back this week. Goddard already did with 11 points. I said 14 earlier, but 11. So that's good for him. Just curious. Okay, 9 plus that. Okay. Anyway, starting Nico Collins could be a nice sleeper. What did he do last week? 14. Yeah, 11 targets right there. Target share is going to be key. Debo, I don't even know what to think about Debo. I mean, if they get him included, great. It's going to help you. But wide receivers are where you're going to be boom or bust. Kirk should be better against Kansas City because people can't really keep up in a man-to-man. Running backs, tough matchups, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to pick Walter. That's going to be an easy pick for me until I start seeing something else. And then defense, just it's going to be a lot of just wishy-washy on that one. Now down here, Cody versus Jeremy. Jalen Hurts already played. Devontae Smith played already. That's why you do the stack. It's not end all be all, but having a stack of a wide receiver and a QB does help you. Does it hurt you? Sometimes, yeah. Look at me last week, Chase and Burrow. That being said, off to a great start. It's got 64 already, and then luckily Cody does have Justin Jefferson, who is yet to score a touchdown on the year and is just absolutely killing it. 11 receptions, 159. Should have been a touchdown, but he fumbled. This one's a tough matchup for me to pick. I think it will come down to defense. Chris Jones is back versus Myles Garrett. They kind of cancel each other out. I don't even know who the hell Jacoby Durant is. I wonder where you pick that one. Maybe you thought it was Kevin Durant, but I'm gonna go with the homer pick here. I'm going Jeremy. Strictly on the fact that tight end position could go in the favor of Laporta. Cook and a lot. It's very even. So yeah, I'm going Jeremy in this one just based off of overall. That is my picks of the week. It's been a fun week so far. We have my full attention will be back next week once fantasy baseball ends. I'm in the championship against Jeremy in Dynasty and John in the Keeper League. My luck, I'll finish second in both, but let's bring one home. Bring home number 3 in the Keeper League. So everybody enjoy the week, enjoy the picks. Peace.